Righty. Catching everybody off guard. What in the world are you going live and it's not Friday night? It is not Friday night. It is Friday Eve of week 9. Let everybody come in here, get the post going. Just going to be in here just to, let me get this off of here. Game predictions just released. Everybody's coming here to get the game predictions. Matt Stats with Coast Football. I'm going to go over some game predictions. You can read them. They just posted. I don't have a game tonight for the Gulf Coast Bulldogs. It is homecoming on Saturday. So I got a free night. I'm going to go over the game predictions with you. Try to be on here for about a half hour. So if you got any comments, questions, please ask. That's what we are here for. We want to make the show better. I say we, it's just me right now. But 15 games tonight. Of course, some discussions earlier in the week is game about region reclassifications coming up. Every 2 years, they reclassify teams. There's speculation certain teams will move up and down. We don't like to spread rumors or speculation, but there's always a team here on the coast in the coastal 6 counties. Like this year, Pearl River Central is playing teams not from the coast in their region. In previous years, it had been Stone. We've had Hattiesburg come down here in the region, on the coast region, so it tends to happen. We don't have an official date on when that's going to come out, the reclassifications, but that should be any time, I would think. And those who don't know, it's based on how many total students a school has at their location, how many students they have. That's how they break it down by classifications. The Coast Top 10 that was put out on Tuesday. We're going to run over it real quick here. Tie for 10th, Biloxi and Stone. Stone coming off that loss against Van Cleve. Biloxi did win at St. Martin. Van Cleve beat Stone at Stone. They moved up to 9th. Iberville did drop after they lost at Gulfport. 7th-ranked George County moves up from 8th. Pascagoula, Goshen 5th. Ocean Springs 4th. They all stayed the same. Poplarville did drop from 2nd to 3rd. That's mainly because of the strength of the schedule. They did win. Picayune went from 1st to 2nd. They did win 69-50 at West Harrison. And Gulfport climbs up to number 1 on the coast with their win over the Iberville. And they did beat Picayune heads up weeks ago. But that's not the only reason why that they're number 1. That is Gulfport. Or as game predictions, 15 games. Last week I had 14-1, lost the 1 game, and that was Van Cleve at Stone. So on the year, 91 for 33, 73%. Region record, 26-7 for 79%. Have any questions, comments, please ask. This is just a special edition of game predictions. As in fact, next Thursday, I'll be up at Perk calling that game with Wayne, as the 7th-ranked Bulldogs will face Hines next Thursday. So, again, this is just a special edition. We have a game Saturday, the Bulldogs do, for homecoming. Hopefully they can make it up there. Game predictions in 1A Resurrection. Why am I not seeing comments? Or somebody commented and I just not on this video. But Sacred Heart at Resurrection, I have Sacred Heart winning near 34-17. The Eagles do look to be in the playoffs. They're defending region champs. They're just a young team, and I believe Sacred Heart will come in to beat them. Hopefully Resurrection will win, but I have the Sacred Heart winning that game. In 3A, Tylertown at St. Patrick. St. Patrick has the longest losing streak here on the coast, 13 games. They will host Tylertown. I have Tylertown winning 35-6. I believe that's St. Patrick's last game of the season. I would have to look and see. St. Stanislaus in 3A. They're the defending region champions. They're at Perry Central. The Rocks are 0-4 on the road. Bulldogs are 2-2 at home. Both teams will be in the playoffs. Perry Central winning 31-17. What do you think? We'll get to that here. Tommy, let me scroll up here just a little bit. 4A, we have Moss Point at Greene County. Moss Point on a 8-game losing streak. They have never gone, or the last time they did not win a game was in 1952. So that's been a while. I see Bingo. I don't know, Bingo, are you going to be having your coach's show tonight? You can reply, or you could jump on this stream. It's your stream by Bingo. I don't know if you're going to be doing the show tonight for at Ocean Springs with Coach Bramlett or not. But Moss Point at Greene County, have Greene County winning there 52-16. Now, the only thing Greene County, they don't want to overlook Moss Point. Moss Point plays good to start the games. They just get worn down throughout the game. And Greene County will play at Poplarville next week for the region title of all intents and purposes, as long as Poplarville gets by Bay High that Friday night. So I have Greene County winning 52-16. There, Kobe King, I believe his name there. I know they're not part of the Coastal Six, but he's the coach's son, and regardless, he's throwing the ball pretty good there. That's Kobe King for Greene County and their offense. That's going to be a game at Poplarville next Friday, not this Friday. Third-ranked Poplarville at Bay High. Poplarville winning there. A little bit closer than expected. Maybe I should adjust my score. I'm going to keep it the same, 33-24 there. Poplarville should beat Bay High Friday night. Of course, Poplarville, the defending back-to-back region champions. They have a 3-game winning streak. And Bay did make the playoffs with 1 win, and they look to do it again this year. That's when they beat Moss Point. That division has 5 teams in the region. 4 of them make the playoffs. And now Tommy there, as Tommy is asking about Stone, 10th ranked Stone, who lost to Van Cleve last week at home, travels to Wayne County, where it has been tough to win at. Wayne County is not the same Wayne County. We keep saying that as seasons pass. They're 2-2 at home, Wayne County. Tomcats 2-3 in road games. I mentioned that Wayne County did lose to Gaucher last week, and it's a critical game for both of them. As far as the loser is going to be, the back's against the wall and may not make it in the playoffs. Stone's defense much improved under second-year coach Jacob Adcock. I look for Stone to rebound. It's going to be a close game, 26-17, but I do look for Stone to rebound. Did they overlook Van Cleve last week? I don't know. I think Van Cleve just played a better game. They came out and took it to Stone. As I'm reading this here live, I see where I left off a couple of sentences that I didn't finish on my write-up there. But I do appreciate the question there, Tommy, there. I do think that Stone will rebound after this loss to Van Cleve. They just lose the edge of trying to get a second seed. Wayne County lost last week, of course, at Gaucher. So again, ask your questions as we go over the game predictions I just released at 6 o'clock. We'll stay on till maybe 6:30. We'll see how it goes. We'll go scrolling up here as Laurel at Van Cleve, the 9th-ranked Bulldogs, aforementioned, took out Stone. They will host Laurel, who's defending region champions. Van Cleve 1-2 at home. Laurel 1-2 on the road. And as I say, it's a log jam with 4 teams standing at 1-1. Gaucher leading that division, that region at 2-0. So 4 teams at 1-1. It did take 2 wins to make it to the playoffs last season, which the Bulldogs did make it there. But the Bulldogs are trying to get their second seed, trying to get the second seed there. With the win, it will go a long way, as they'll have the tiebreakers against Stone, and then if they can beat Laurel, as they'll play at East Central and then at Wayne County, which they'll be favored to win that game. That is the Bulldogs. Van Cleve has not hosted a playoff game since 2015. So that'll be something big if they can finish off the season to beat Laurel. They're starting Friday. I have them winning. I didn't put a score down there. I have them winning by 8 points, so it's going to be a close game. Laurel Golden Tornado still have some great players, and they played Stone 24-21. So I'll look for the confidence there to be Van Cleve at home. They need all the support they can get there at their house at Big 57 exit, which that's what they call Big 57. You go to 228 Sports, the podcast, I shared it. Coach Fant was on there this past week. I listened to it last night. And like he said, they're playing good ball. And it's a matter in any sport. If you're playing at the right time, no matter, he even said they don't have the athletes or not, against Laurel, the speed, the size. But if you got the group of players together and start playing at the right time, get the momentum going, you could beat anybody. And I have Van Cleve winning that game by at least a touchdown there. Yeah, I see. Hope Stone can pull it off. Yes, Tommy, I have them, winning. Now, was it a trap game the week before against Van Cleve where they beat Laurel on the road and they come back at home and feeling good, and Van Cleve just took them out. It wasn't even close there. So I believe Stone will regroup, and they should make the playoffs. Shouldn't have no problem making the playoffs, but they do need to take care of business there Friday night. So as far as Kenneth Burns, as far as Greene County, the coastal standings, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. We don't do that because of the news that covers the 6 coastal counties. If Greene County was ranked in the top, they would be in the top 10 if they were ranked. If we ranked them, they're a pretty good team. Obviously, this year we'll be playing for the region title next week at Poplarville. So again, we share their stats. I follow Coach King as far as the page. Gulf Coast High School football follows Coach King and post their stats, their pregame, postgame, anything I can. I have no problem with that for Greene County. We're going to move up to, again, still in 5A, 5th ranked Gaucher 2-0 at East Central 0-2. Gators lead the series 17-6. They've won the last 2. Hornets 0-3 at home. Their one win did come on the road. Gaucher, a 5-game winning streak on the road. They have that 16-game home winning streak going, but they have all of a sudden gotten 5-game winning streak on the road. So, again, East Central struggling to put up points from 20 points a game last year down to 11. It's the Gators region to lose, as I posted, as my release just came out tonight at 6. With 3 games to remain, 2 on the road and 1 at home. And they're all atop at 2-0 alone in that region. I have Gaucher winning 43-11. Of course, Trey Irving and company got Nicholson. I mean, they just are playing pretty good there. The defense has to tighten up a little bit there for the Gators, but as long as you can outscore the opponent, that's all that matters there. Is Gaucher. Let me see what they're averaging now on defense. 26 points a game. They're averaging 34 points on offense. So Gaucher should beat East Central 43-11 Friday night. Pearl River Central, that's one of the teams that plays out from the coast. They have at Hattiesburg Friday night. They're in Region 3 in the 6A. Tigers lead the series 6-1. PRC, the only game they won was back in 2015. The last time they were in the playoffs, and they're fixing to be in the playoffs this year. That is Coach Feaster with the Blue Devils. Look for Hattiesburg to win that game 47-12. As I go to let me go to their region to see exactly what the standings look like in there. And you're going to have Hattiesburg at 7-0, Terry at 6-2, West Jones 6-1, Pearl River Central 2-5, and Forest Hill at 1-6. So again, it's a tough region there, but Pearl River Central representing the coast, they will be in the playoffs, and most likely will go to Picayune in round one of the playoffs. George County at West Harrison. George County is 2-0. West Harrison 0-2. Of course, the Hurricanes let that one slip away at Hancock. And then last week, they lost to Picayune 69-50. A lot of points, obviously, in that game. They set their personal set a school record by allowing 69 points by Picayune. Now, I think it was 63, the previous record. And then the most points total in the game, which is at 119. I believe it was at 106. I had that in the stat that on Saturday. But the Rebels lead the series 3-2. They've played since 2013, so they don't play every year. But they're in the same region here the last 2 years. George County 3-1 in road games. West Harrison 2-1 at home. Hurricanes lost at home. Aforementioned Picayune 69-50. Rebels beat Hancock last week 51-49. Last season, 2 wins made the playoffs. So West Harrison, they lose this game, they are pretty much out of their playoff picture there. George County can lose to West Harrison. West Harrison's a very good team. They can run the ball, and especially if George County, I said they could lose if they're looking at next week's game, which will be at Picayune. That would be for the region title most likely there next week. But I have George County winning 44-32. Should put it up a little bit into the 50s, but that's the score I'm going with. It's just a bonus to score. It's a matter of getting the team right that will win the game. 6th-ranked Pascagoula will travel on the road. I don't know. Panthers don't like the road here lately. 3-game road losing streak going back to last season. They're 0-2 this season. But they're 5-0 at home. But they're on the road at Hancock, who all of a sudden didn't start off well in the non-region games. Beat West Harrison, lost last week. Let me go to that game here. They lost at George County in that shootout, 51-45. So right now you have George County and Picayune, the defending champs, at 2-0. You have Hancock at 1-1, Pascagoula at 1-1, and then you have West Harrison at 0-2 and Long Beach at 0-2. 4 teams make the playoffs. Long Beach and West Harrison didn't make it last year, and like I said, West Harrison and a must win to beat George County, and then they'll host Long Beach. They'll play at Pascagoula in 2 weeks, and then they'll host Long Beach. So they can get two wins out those 3 games coming up. West Harrison still may have a shot at the playoffs. But Pascagoula at Hancock, I have Hancock winning 36-22. I say, the Panthers struggle on the road continue. They cannot afford to misstep if they want to get a 1 or 2 seed. Most likely it'll be a 2 seed because right now they are down to Picayune by 2 games, even though they lost just the 1 game. But if you're tied, you're losing because you are 1 game behind with that loss. So Pascagoula cannot afford to overlook Hancock. I don't believe Coach Sims, who's the longest tenured coach, is allowing his team to do that with Silas Quarter and Action Jackson, and that's both sides of the ball. They're doing pretty good there in Pascagoula. But they will be at Hancock, and then they'll host West Harrison, then at George County the final week of the season. It's the way it went last year. The winner of that game, George County, and Pascagoula was the 2nd seed, got a first-round home playoff game, and George County won that game last year at Pascagoula. But George County is looking at a region title, but that's in 2 weeks at Picayune. If they can win at Picayune, then that's where it'll get all kind of 3-way tie if Pascagoula beats George County. But we shall see how that plays out. But I do have Pascagoula winning 36-22. Again, I appreciate everybody joining myself here tonight, and this is a spontaneous spur of the moment. Hey, let's get on the air at 6 o'clock, and as soon as the game predictions are released, because I have a game Saturday, Gulf Coast will be calling, and Wayne and myself will be calling the homecoming, so that's why we don't have a game tonight, so I can be on the air here with you guys. Long Beach at number 2 in Picayune. I have to correct that. But Long Beach will play at Picayune. They're pretty much out of the playoff picture at 0-2. They would have to win these last several games. That is Long Beach, as I fix that. Maroon Tide lead the series 24-3 and won the last 6 games. And that's for Bearcats have to win 2 of these last 3 games to have a shot at the playoffs. Picayune, they look ahead at that George County game next week, which again should be for the region title. Maroon Tide, 21 straight region wins. 21 straight region wins. Let that sink in there. But they should win 55-24 is what the projected score is. That is Picayune over Long Beach. I fix that here. Add your question, comments. We should have a pregame show tomorrow. We should have one. May come on even earlier, 5:15. See what guests we can bring on. Like to hop around to the pregames, to the fields for the people that are already there. 7A, Harrison Central at D'Iberville. Boy, oh boy, a must win for D'Iberville to have a shot at the playoffs. And I had them as a number 2 seed in my region predictions. And they, tough against Ocean Springs. I thought they could beat Ocean Springs there at D'Iberville. They did not. And then last week I had them projected to lose at Gulfport, which they did. They played better. D'Iberville did. They will host Harrison Central tomorrow night. If D'Iberville loses that game, again, 2 games is what it took last year to make it to the playoffs. And I'm bringing up the standings here for D'Iberville, who's 0-2. Ocean Springs and Gulfport are 2-0 in that region. Biloxi, Harrison Central are at 1-1, and then St. Martin and D'Iberville 0-2. D'Iberville has to win 2 of these last 3 games to even be mentioned in the playoffs, and they could do it. They will host Harrison Central. They'll host St. Martin. They've dominated St. Martin over the years. St. Martin's playing a little bit better ball also this year. West Harrison D'Iberville hosting Harrison Central. The Warriors lead the series 37-28-1. Rebels did win last year. Red Rebels 46-43. Harrison Central 1-3 on the road. They've lost 3 straight road games. D'Iberville 2-1, both coming off road losses last week. I have D'Iberville winning 34-18. 34-18. I have D'Iberville beating Harrison Central tomorrow night to move both of those teams to 1-2. 4th-ranked Ocean Springs at 1-1 Biloxi. Greyhounds leads the series 26-25, so a little bit of back and forth over the years, but not lately, as Ocean Springs has won the last 7. Indians 1-3 at home. They've lost 3 straight. Ocean Springs 2-1 on the road. They've won 2 straight road games. And also, Greyhounds have won 21 straight region games. So Ocean Springs, Picayune have won 21 straight region games. And the record is 23 by Gulfport. 23 straight region games from 2016 to 2019. That is the coast record for most region games in a win. And just to look slightly ahead, again, Ocean Springs is at 21. They win this, they're at 22. And who do they play next week? Ocean Springs. They will host Gulfport. So it'll be only fitting that the 2 teams, both of them, Gulfport has the record of 23 straight, and Ocean Springs, if I get this straight over here, will be at 22. They beat Biloxi, which I do have them beating Biloxi 33-17. Indians just trying to get their offense going. They just seem to not have it in full gear yet. Of course, the new coach here, Coach Dubuisson, they're at Biloxi, coming in averaging 14 points per game, giving up 18 points on defense. So it's their defense is there. Just offense has to get it going there. But I have them losing at home to Ocean Springs tomorrow night, 33-17. The last game on this 15-game slate. St. Martin 0-2 at number 1 Gulfport, who was 2-0. Admirals lead the series 17-1. St. Martin won in 2003. So it's been dominated by the Admirals. Yellow Jackets 1-2 on the road. Gulfport 2-1 at home. St. Martin at 0-2 again needs this win to have any sniff at the playoffs. They need more than just this win, but if they lose this game, pretty much out of the playoffs. And Admirals don't want to get caught looking at Ocean Springs next week and take the Yellow Jackets for granted, as the Jackets have been playing, again, some pretty good ball, better than last year when they had that losing streak. So we'll still see. I have Gulfport winning 34-14 in that game. Gulfport over St. Martin. So 15 games. Game predictions are on the Facebook page. And tomorrow, if you have any game day pictures, tag us on Facebook or on X at Coast Football. We'll be glad to share them with you. Make your game predictions below the post here on Facebook. I have it pinned to the top of the page. If you go to the page, I have several posts pinned to the top of the page for easy access there. Appreciate everybody joining us. And again, I believe Bingo may be having a show tonight with Coach Bramlett, the coach's show at Ocean Springs. Biloxi had their show last night. Talking Ball, y'all, their podcast, their pregame, I shared theirs. And 228 Sports, I shared theirs. Again, if you want everything else for high school sports, go to my other Facebook page, which happens to be Coast High School Sports. And that's where I share. That's a one-stop shop where you don't have to follow every Coast sports team on the Coast. I do, and I share all what they share to get you in the know. So appreciate everything, and we will see you tomorrow for the pregame. Leave any comments, questions. What do you like to see? What do you like to hear as we get ready for week 9 of region play? So for Matt Stats, we will check it tomorrow night. Thank you. Stats out.